All right, we're live. You got to start your live stream on Substack.
I did. Oh, it is now live. Well, I guess we're live, huh?
Oh yeah, I just got the notification.
Let the great experiment begin.
Yes.
All right,
open.
so we're up and at 'em. So we, I think we're eating a bit of our own dog food here and actually recording some live content. We've been talking about this for, I think, since we met, Zane, probably 6 months ago. We kept saying how much we wanted to actually like get out and actually put out live content and just literally flip on the camera and record like we were actually having our own chat. So just kind of let people see a little bit behind the scenes, because we're sharing some really cool stuff all the time, and I feel like it gets buried maybe just in meeting and note takers and stuff and doesn't get acted on. So we wanted to put a little accountability behind our stuff and actually show you guys and show whoever is interested what we're doing behind the scenes, and jump into it.
I'm gonna jump into the live really quick too, so we can monitor if anybody joined.
I think I can see it too, so we're good.
Cool.
How did you do that? Jump into the live?
I got a email from you. When you went live, it sends me an email. There we go. Watch the video.
Me too. Look at that. Well, cool. Yeah, but this is I would say a pretty big week for us. We've been working a ton behind the scenes, trying to figure out what we want to build and what we want to do together. We're working on some pretty big projects, but I think one of the first things that we want to talk about and show today is what came out of everybody getting together and meeting in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, where we had you coming in from Chicago, we had Tam coming in from Seattle, we had Lil Zane coming in from Athens, Georgia, and there's two Zanes in this group, so we got Big Zane, Little Zane, Big Zane on the call. And the four of us just sat around the table for 3 straight days, probably 14 hours total. Our laptops open, brainstorming, just putting out all
stuff. Yeah, it was really fun. It was, well, number one, just meeting everybody in person was really cool, and then just kind of the real-time ideation, sitting around at a table. It felt like a scene out of Silicon Valley. We were just sitting at Max's dining table with computer monitor set up. Lil Zane had he didn't even bring a laptop. He actually brought a desktop. First time I've seen someone bring a desktop to the party, and had all kinds of gadgets set up. And it was just really fun. We got all 4 dogs there too.
It was the first time I've seen someone bring their own power supply with them. So that was impressive. And there's obviously 4 dogs running around too. So I have 4 dogs, and a couple of small ones and a couple of really big ones. So it was interesting. But coming out of that, we just had so many different ideas, and we were sharing stuff. And we're like, we just need to get this stuff out there. So we decided to start a community. And so let me share something real quick. I just want to show you guys. Share screen. Zane, let me know if it's if it's sharing. I'll just share my full screen, I think. Let's bring up Beware the Fall. This is the community. You can see, is it sharing my screen?
Yep, it is.
Yeah, so this is the idea. And we can get into a little more of why we named it this, but Beware the Default. So it's a community for people who think differently about AI. And it's going to be a place that we're going to just be sharing, again, more of back of the napkin, working with the garage door open, just showing everybody our experiments, what we're learning, all of our different tools. And also the tools that we are building, we have at least 3 that are almost ready to go. And so people in the community will show you, show you a little bit of how we built them, why we built them, but also give you access to use them. They're super cool. So if you're curious, this is the site itself. And then it'll take you, whenever this gets live, we'll take you there. Right now, it's just to a wait list, trying to get it live on January 6th, so Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so wait list here, get a really cool prompt pack that Zane put together. So super cool. It'll be a school group. But we're launching that this week, so we're super excited. We want to get loaded up with tons of stuff on the inside. We can show you what we have so far. It's a lot of it's kind of partner meth type stuff. Yeah. So we're starting to put some content in there. We'll have all this done. So you guys are getting a real quick look behind it, but Tam's even done a really good job on a lot of the stuff that's probably on my to-do list, but like she's going to do so much cool stuff. You could see she's already
doing some really awesome stuff with the Notion agents that's coming, which I feel like it's not even it's a feature that's still in beta testing. So I don't think a lot of people have gotten to experience it yet, but Tam has gotten us access to Notion agents for the last month or so, and it's just incredibly powerful is what you can start doing with them. It's I feel like we kind of took some time to start to understand like the possibilities, but then all of us when we got together in Atlanta, we were just kind of hooked and coming up with ideas for putting a knowledge base together and then creating all kinds of agents and connecting them to Slack. And she's done some really really cool stuff. Like she made us all our own personal assistant agent that we can just message on Slack. So whenever we have one of our problems is we just have a lot of ideas and we'll send them to each other on WhatsApp or in Slack, and kind of gets lost all over the place. So now Tam made us a personal assistant agent that whenever we have a bright idea, we just go in the Slack chat and tell it to the assistant, and then all the stuff behind the scenes and somehow it just magically shows up packaged up ready for us in Notion to review. So it's really really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, yeah, if people aren't talking about Notion agents yet, and they will be soon. Like I think the problem is out of the box there's still a bit of customization that you have to do to like really get them cooking, but like once you do, they're so good. Like I think the first round of Notion AI was pretty underwhelming. It didn't it just wasn't that helpful and that useful, or especially not to replace any of your normal Claude or ChatGPT usage. But now it's really good, whereas be almost like you want to get as much of your data in there as possible because the stuff you could do with it's amazing. And then they just make it so easy to integrate with other apps, like Zane was saying with Slack, that before a team meeting or anything, our agenda is pre-populated based off the stuff we're talking about in Slack. Like it's super super cool. So expect a lot of stuff on Notion agents in there. Tam's she's taking the lead and just going all out in that insane amount of prompts. We'll have all of our some of our bigger apps that we're gonna give you guys, because those will live on standalone pages, but we're always building micro apps. Like I was just building a guess it like uploading a picture of your pet and creating icons and stickers out of it. So like just like even like little things like that, but it's more about like, to me, just the fun stuff of just showing you what's possible. So it's so much of AI is tough because you just don't know what you don't know right now and what you could do with it. So much of our goal is just to show you what's possible with it, because there's just so much out there. So vibe coding, I'm going to be running another vibe coding cohort in January. So I ran a beta one. We're going to do the full one in January and bring a lot of that stuff into the group. So super, super cool stuff in here. Anything else you want to add around this?
No, I mean, we're just, there's going to be a lot coming at everyone, and we just want to get people in there sharing ideas. Like I guess one thing we could talk about, Max, is like even just the idea of how Beware the Default came to be. It was just a really just fun story. I feel like it's one of those things that just kind of like organically I think you were just watching college football and came up with the idea, and then we just ran with it. So
exactly.
I would love hearing the story.
So I ended up writing an article about this, and we could put this in the chat too for anybody who's interested. But I think I was watching the Ohio State Indiana game. So for the college football fans or in the US, it's it was a big college football game, and I saw a sign. Somebody was holding up one of those signs that just said John 3:16 on it, and I've seen those everywhere. They're even like in Madden the football game and like just everywhere, and I've never thought to ask why. So I fired up AI like I always do and just started a conversation of why are people always holding up that sign, and it just led me down a rabbit hole of the guy who invented it or like first started it, and his name was like the Rainbow Man. So it's like a really fun story, but it like created a cultural movement. And so got deeper into that and started asking AI, okay, like what would be the equivalent of something like that starting today? And it gave me an answer. And I said, okay, what if you were as AI, and kind of flipped it back on it and said, you as AI, like what sign would you hold up? And it became a Beware the Defaults was the final kind of answer. And I actually got it to to write an entire TED talk about what it was.
Super cool.
And
We should go listen to it.
yeah, and I really thought it was one of like the coolest things I've ever read, as far as like the messaging of just when everything in our life is becoming more and more automated, even if you don't think it is. You honestly probably just don't realize how much is happening behind the scenes. Like when you open up Netflix, when you open up Google Maps, when you open up any of that stuff, there's just so many preset things that are selected for you that you just naturally just go along with, because that's the way it is. And
Yeah.
it's only going to increase when you starting and putting in AI and something this smart. It's going to start trying to not only predict what it thinks you want, like it does with a lot of the social media algorithms, but it's going to start almost predicting like who you're going to become, or the choices that you do take, and what are the next steps beyond that, and pre-selecting answers for you. So I think us, as we took a step back and thought about that message as a whole, it was more about never accepting AI's first answer for thinking, never taking the default answer from AI, always pushing it a little further, always asking, the why behind it, what are, the first principles behind this? What are the second order effects? Like keep pushing it and to get you better answers. Cause some of the best answers and the best things I've come out of that, the best insights have always come from, going that last mile, that extra step with AI, and keep going, just because if you even think about how AI is created, it's just aggregating almost the average of the internet, right? Like, so
Yeah.
when you do get a response, that's why sometimes it's cool, just because AI can articulate itself so well and make it sound really cool. But it's often just it's a best practice is what it's giving you. It's just the average, or probably a little bit above average. So, so I thought it was it really resonated, and we kind of took it as our almost our battle cry, right?
Yeah.
And
It became our manifesto. It's really I feel like the more we talked about it, we just realized that was how we've been using AI all this time. And I think we just didn't have a way to express it. So it just kind of like really resonated. We're like, yeah, we always just we use AI to think of ideas that are kind of out of the box and not the default. And then like even when we're using AI, we are constantly kind of pushing it for to go deeper and to look at different angles. And so yeah, it just really resonated. And we're super excited to start this community and kind of get people to, I think it's just get people to chase their curiosity, right? Like just get people to kind of look past the, do I use this thing to just summarize or write emails, or just like really basic use cases, like just going way beyond that, and then even questioning the outputs, just pushing it to get better outputs. So yeah, super exciting stuff with this coming.
Yeah. So that's a lot about kind of what we're up to, where we're going. But I think let's jump into some of the fun stuff of what we're actually building and working on right now. Let's talk about actually the stuff that you were doing with your wife, because I think this is it's a real fun story, because it just, to me, it kind of took an angle that like you just wouldn't expect, and you pushed it a little further. You want to tell a story? You want me to set it up a little bit for you?
Yeah, no, I'll get into it. So I guess, well, it was actually, so I will say Max is kind of my idea spark engine, because usually what happens is Max will say something in one of our WhatsApp chats or Slack groups, and then like it just makes me really think. And so a couple, maybe a week or two ago, he was, after the Atlanta trip, he was asking me, he's like, you spend so much time on AI stuff, and you're working on it on the weekends, like your wife probably hates that, right? And I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, she knows I'm really passionate about it, but it just got me kind of thinking, like, how could I use AI to kind of, find something that would be interesting for the both of us, and actually like figure out how we could like spend time together, maybe working on a project together. And so my wife is a big anime fan, and one of the things I recall she always tells me about is that anime has a deeper meaning, and there's just a lot of lessons kind of I think a lot of people view it as like just cartoons and for kids, but it's just got a lot more life lessons and deeper meanings. And she would always kind of show me these different TikTok videos talking about it. And so it hit me that, it was like, it'd be cool to take those things that the deeper meaning behind AI and what are those lessons, and if we could turn them into prompts for people to actually apply. And so I kind of went down, and I'll bring my screen up to show what we kind of put together. It's still rough, but let me.
Yeah, while you're working on it, like I immediately just think like, if you don't think there's a use case for AI, like there, like we could find one for you. Like it just takes just thinking about it from a different angle, just getting a little creative with it, because the stuff you put together, any niche, any just about anything, there we can pull something out of it, apply prompts, build a newsletter around it, build a community around it. There's just so much fun stuff. Build little tools around it. So
Is my screen coming up?
I think we just got to add. There you go.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I took the idea and ran it. Had a conversation with ChatGPT to really kind of build it out, right. And the ideas around pulling out the wisdom out of anime and talking about that, so just people understand what's kind of behind the shows that they watch. So like really popular ones, like some of these I haven't even watched, but I watch in passing, like Dan to Dan, One Piece, Frieren. These are all really really popular anime shows. And so work with ChatGPT to actually come up with a fun name for the newsletter and kind of thing that we want to start. So within a half an hour, we were already at a first draft. So we're calling the newsletter Ura Story. And the reason we're calling it that is Ura actually means like what is behind the real story in Japanese. So it's every issue is just going to be kind of the Ura story is like what's the story behind the story. And my wife's going to write the first part, which is going to be talking about one of the popular animes, and like what's really behind that. So we started with One Piece, and really popular anime show. I think you can watch it on Netflix or Crunchyroll. But she talked about how in this show there's a main character. His name is Luffy, and he's always his like signature thing is he's always smiling, and even in good situations, bad situations. And so we kind of expanded upon that, and just wrote about like what is what is behind that. And then took that wisdom and then applied it to an actual prompt. And so the second half of every newsletter we're going to call prompt no jutsu. And again, this is like Japanese, a play on Japanese to jutsu is like the technique. So we're kind of like extracting the wisdom and then applying the technique through a prompt. And so we came up with a cool prompt for this first issue. And it's like it's all about provided kind of a current setback, and then the prompt helps you sort of apply that, like how do you find the good in it, how do you find the freedom through joy in it, like applying all the principles of One Piece and Luffy. So super cool. But like what's amazing is like this brought my wife and I worked on this for like a couple hours together, and now we've got this thing to work on together that's like she loves anime, I'm very into AI, and now we've got a cool project to work on together. And so again, nothing, we're not even really like concerned with where it goes, but I feel like when you just do cool stuff like this, like it just kind of resonates. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, there's so many anime fans out there that probably spend hours and hours watching these shows. Like, what a cool way to share, more behind the scenes, give them other ways to kind of interact with the shows. And who knows, you might come out with some like real gold prompts and lessons from some of this stuff. So it's pretty cool. We're excited about it.
Yeah, like to your point, even if it doesn't, it already has the benefits of you and your wife now spending another couple hours, 2-3+ hours together. The shared interests, like I mean, I'm sure there's tons of people out there that are looking for like how can me and my significant other find something to like just an activity together, like shared passions together. And this is what's so cool about AI too, is like you can literally, whatever somebody else's passion is, like you can use AI as that bridge to match up even combined interests. Or like what Zane did here is taking AI, what he's super passionate about, and matched it with what his wife's doing. And now they, instead of spending while Zane's working at the kitchen table and his wife's, in the, living room on the couch watching TV or whatever, like now they're together working on this thing, and they're actually putting something out in the world that could actually be help. Like I know nothing about anime, but just listening to what that prompt did, like it could be genuinely useful to somebody or help them in some different ways. So like that's the biggest, to me, like the biggest lesson there is it just creates so many opportunities when you just think outside the box with it and don't think, okay, this is just a search engine, or this is just for generating, funny videos on Sora, your creativity is the bottleneck at this point. And just as much you want to go and explore with it and learn, you could do anything. Zane, I'm sure you knew nothing about anime, right? But because of AI, like
I would just passively watch, like kind of sitting on the couch while my wife's watching, and I knew some of the bigger shows just because she talks about them all the time. But yeah, this is actually a really, again, like if I just looked at this prompt like outside of knowing anime, like it's actually a really cool concept, right? It's like it's kind of helping you reframe tough situations, and so it could be useful whether you like anime or not. But yeah, to your point, I'm like, what a cool concept. Like you could do this with your significant other, with your kid, with your brother, your parents. Like you could use AI to find common ground between like two completely seemingly like disconnected things, and like find like a cool fun activity to do. So it just kind of it just goes to show you, it's like creativity is no bounds here.
Yeah, I mean, the marketer to me is even looking at like the meta level of like, okay, how can you productize that? Like, how can you productize that experience of helping, using AI to bring to, two people in a relationship or friends or whatever to come together to combine their interests so that they collectively create something together. Because you went from a conversation that your wife had that you knew nothing about to a actual newsletter that is ready to be posted in 2 to 3 hours, which is it's just wild. It's so cool. Cool. Do you want? I think that could be actually a good transition to the other one. I have some actually quite similar to that but different. So
yeah,
let me let's remove that. Let me just share this one. So I did a similar thing, which is actually really funny. My girlfriend is actually she's a lawyer, but she has tons of students, and she actually keeps all of her notes and everything on a Remarkable tab. And I've been trying to, show her other ways that we could use AI. And so we did something very similar, but it's much more, I guess, let's call it work related. And so let's actually share the whole screen again. That was just easier for me trying to figure out things. I created a actual personal dashboard for her for all that actually ingests. Did you bring it to the stage?
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, so it actually will ingest her Remarkable notes and actually bring it in here and help her organize all of her notes. So before it was actually just living on the Remarkable notepad. Now she has like a dashboard where she can see it all. And what I love about this too is it's completely customized to however she wants to. She wants it. So like if she would have gone out to Notion, she could have made something probably similar, or she went into like any of the other like note-taking apps. There's parts of them that that you'll probably pull from and like, but they're not going to be exactly what you need, right? Or in the view that you need it. And so I just sat down with her. I was like, okay, in your perfect world, what are all the things that you want, including having the dogs on there, right? So like, that's actually Harlow's, that's one of her favorite dogs. So and so I went through, pull a list of things together, and I built this for her last night. You can see it's actually on DevCog. They name her name, but that's her URL of her site. This is all dummy data right now, anyways, because I built it last night. She said, I just want to be able to like have a place where I could track all my spending. So, stuff that she needs to send to an accountant, stuff for work, for Amazon. She really wanted to make sure that that's tracked. That's a big thing. Shopping, and other. So these are the actual categories that she wants to track, and she wants to see it on a monthly and weekly thing. So like we have all the monthly totals where she'll be able to track. We could do quick expense of just adding it in manually, or when we have it set up now. So when Amazon, when her Gmail receives a receipt from Amazon, it auto forwards to this and gets categorized and put in here. So anytime she buys anything from Amazon, it's getting uploaded to here, and she'll be able to track it. Right. And then even her to-dos, she likes to see her to-dos as which I thought this is actually, I may have to try this because I really like this organization system. She likes to see her to-dos as today, this week, and 2 weeks. Like, no actual dates on her, right? Like there are dates, but like that's how it organized. So we created a view for her of this week, today, that week, right? And so like have a like, how about this? Buy my boyfriend an amazing present, right? And if it's on Amazon, we'll see it in here. But it just creates it in there, and then she could start like organizing, adding.
That's super.
And you can see in the top priorities up here, it's automatically added, and these top priorities will be organized by how she sorts it here. You could just add the receipts. You could set budgets for all this stuff, so it will know when to track it. The other thing is grocery shopping. So we started doing this where we have the list for the week that we want. You could just add quick items here. We actually have certain things that we eat all the time. So we actually already put in like the menu stuff. So like, all right, what do we want to eat this week? We can go through and just like select, that, like, and what it does is pulling the ingredients. And so the next thing I got to finish it off is I'll just hit this, like add the ingredients that'll go right to our list. And then we're going to think of other things of adding it in here, of just being able to chat with it, of like, okay, based off the last 3 weeks, we ate these different things, right? Like create new combinations of that. And you can obviously do all this inside of ChatGPT if you keep track of it all, but like it's just a super cool, all customized way of seeing just the stuff, how exactly she likes it, that like makes it feel like hers. It's all password protected on the front end. So only she could get in here and see this. So really cool stuff.
Well, this is amazing. It's like, I just think back to, I being so into different tools, like you're always just looking for the perfect tool to like fit your use case. And like, I don't know, it was just, it always felt like in the past, you'd never really find something that like was exactly what you wanted. You were always kind of making some compromises. It's like, it's so cool that you can just build it exactly like how you imagine in your head now. And this is amazing.
And so I obviously got inspired by that, and so I had to build one for myself, because right now I just have stuff like I'm sure like everybody, like there's just stuff all over the place, right? I work a lot in Cloud Code, so I have like all these databases in Cloud Code, and that all lives local, which is nice, but that's obviously where tons of data is. And then I have so much stuff in Notion because I love working in Notion, but that's another data set, right? And then I have 3 different calendars now of like personal and work and like other so I have 3 calendars, and like trying to keep up with all that stuff's a lot. And then you think of, okay, like as a consultant, freelancer, entrepreneur, whatever, like you end up also having so many different relationships, and you have so many different clients, and you have all your to-dos and tasks. And like those often like live in Google Calendar, and they also live in like, so it's just, there's just stuff everywhere. So I was like, I just need like a view of everything that I have. So then I could process it. And I want it to be set up so that it's always is my home screen too. So when I come in here, I have a snapshot of everything what's in the content pipeline, what's in, what's on the calendar, what are my top 3 priorities, all that stuff. And so I built that as well last night. So it's not done. It's still sitting local. So it's like a different, like obviously my own view. I'm going to call it my brain. I'm calling it Felix. This is Felix when I come into it. So Felix is going to be my helper. So it's going to actually start tracking productivity time. But this, like you'll see with what I showed you on the first one, this is built exactly how I want it. And it's not quite there yet, because like I keep seeing, like as I'm building, I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if I could also have this. And I'm sure I'll continue to have these like these aha moments or these needs as this stuff comes up and as I start using it. But then I just build it in, right? Like it's not like I have to go like find another software or whatever. Like it's just going to be built into here once I have this core foundation. So at the top, like what's going on here, I'm going to have my top 3 priorities here. And again, just like you saw with the other one, like they could be sorted, and when they get sorted, they get rearranged in my top priorities. This is where I could just like assign the client to a task. I could assign it to one of my projects to a task. I could put it here and then just mark it. So this is, again, just a very high level view, but it's also here. I just connected all 3 of my calendars to it. So this is actually going to pull in live calendar data from 3 different calendars on Google Calendar, which Google Calendar and 2 custom domains. So it's super cool here, where I'll just have, again, this will be my home screen moving forward for every time I open my browser. Like this is what I'm going to see, and it'll give me a snapshot of, okay, what do I have to do today? Or if if I'm just sitting here and I think, okay, I need to quickly, I just have a quick task. Like I just want to put it in here, and I'm going to put some logic behind it so it knows how to automatically categorize it by client, by project. Same thing with content. If I get a quick capture an idea for content, I'm going to be able to have it in here and capture it.
And you have it. Do you have it connected to like your tools outside of this, like your Notion and other places? Like where does that information go when you put a content idea in there?
So it'll live inside of Notion. Yeah. So it's all completely synced with Notion. So like any content idea I have, let's see. And I think Rick said, does this live in Cloud Code? So Rick, this is actually, it was built in Cloud Code, but it'll live on the internet. So it says localhost because I haven't deployed it yet, but I'll get a custom domain. So this will be a password protected actual domain that I'll be able to just to send this to, which is super cool. But if you look, let's go back here and I'll just bring up Notion real quick. Let's see, not Big Brain. Let's go to, you see we have a million things going on here, but like in here, I have DHub for now, but this will actually go like into one of my content banks that it's actually pulling it from. So you can kind of see all these now.
Wow.
But if we look back at now Felix, my guy here, like, and hopefully it pulls up, this is the exact same thing, right?
Nice. Okay.
So it's all synced with Notion now.
Very cool.
And it's synced with Todoist because you got me on Todoist. So, but I have that, like, I obviously won't need that probably anymore. But I had it synced so I could just pull in stuff. But now I'm going to be able to set up a content pipeline. And I haven't done this yet, where I'll just be able to like almost Kanban board these things.
Yeah.
And just move them along so I could just see full view here of everything that's going on. When I want to go work on it now, I can go work on it either in Notion or Claude, but I'll at least have a 30,000 foot view of everything that I got going on in here.
Yeah.
And I imagine as I start working with this, I'll want some different views. I'll want some different ability to edit it in certain ways and different things. So I thought that was super cool. I just enabled like the actual search functionality here, so I could search across all of my data, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
If I just put in like it just like a C here, you could see like just stuff just automatically starts coming up. So it's super cool.
Super cool.
I'm trying to work on like, okay, what is the best way to like see all my clients kind of like and where they are, like and people working on different things that I got going on. So I have some of these in here. I need to organize it a little bit better, but for one of the, from my cognitive fingerprint, like consulting, there's like four stages of like where I bring people through of having a discovery call. I build their custom installation for them, and then we fine tune it. And so now I just need to add that property to here in Notion, and I'll be able to see like where they are in the pipeline. Because in January I'll have between 6 and 10 people going through this, so I'll want to see like a snapshot of, okay, where out of these different groups, where is everybody? Like who still needs their project built for them? Who am I waiting on just to get transcripts from? Like all that kind of stuff. So Rick, super cool. And you can
Rick asked if you edit the dashboard in Claude, will you deploy the update automatically to the hosted site?
Yeah. I'm gonna have it sync. So all you do is if I'm doing anything in Claude, I'll just have it push. So it'll be synced with within Git within the GitHub, and it'll be hosted on Vercel. So it's all synced, and then it's connected through a Notion. This all sounds technical, but I promise you, AI. Once you get like the basic understanding, AI does this for you. Like I still can't tell you. I haven't written a single piece of code in my life still.
When did you? I think you just started even experimenting with vibe coding. What, just like 5-6 months ago? Yeah, exactly.
Like that's when I just started playing around with it. So, so in each of these, like, so you can sign them, and like this is just, again, I did this last night, so like this will get better. I'm giving everybody superhero icons because I thought that was fun. I was inspired by some of the other stuff we're doing for somebody else, so I wanted like a relationship dashboard, so this will be in here. But yeah, like it any changes I make either here or Notion, it's a two-way sync, right? Yeah. So like I could either make it like I can make the changes in Cloud Code if I want, because that's the biggest brain of all of them. But if I'm just working in Notion and I add a new client in there, it'll automatically go in here too, which is super cool. Same with all my tasks, right? Like it's just the management. There's obviously not much stuff going in here, but I wanted to be able to like quickly sort them or reorganize them, do it by client, by project, and just filter all these things in here. So super cool. Same thing with projects. Like I got all sorts of different projects going on. So like just having a place where I could see all the projects. I actually don't love this view yet. So I need to get it smaller, I think. But yeah, like we'll go in here. So I haven't put that one up there yet because it looks like it's on maintenance mode. So obviously I got to do a few different things in here, but like it'd be great because I want a full custom view even for my newsletter. So like I can go in here and I can look at my editorial calendar and see like what am I writing on this week, have links where I could just bring it straight up to the Google Doc and keep editing it and moving on, and then see kind of like what I have in the pipeline, or if I flag stuff of like ideas coming up, I can see how those come together. So again, for me, it was to try and find that somewhere else. It's like,
it's just like be able to.
All of them would get you about 80% there, but this is exactly what I need, right?
Yeah,
that's the fun part. And this is the best. Like, again, this isn't done. I don't even think I'm going to do this weekly productivity. I'm going to probably make this chart something else.
And that's the thing. Like what you just said about everything getting you like 80% there. Like I know I'm guilty of this. Like I buy so many tools and I try to set them up, but then I like, unless they just really fit what I need and what I want, I just stop using them. Right. And I'm, I would guess you've got a lot of tools too. You're the,
oh my God,
you're the lifetime license guy. So
give me a lifetime deal, I'm in. Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, like I don't know, maybe that's actually the reason is like you just stop using a tool because it's not everything you want. So this idea of just sitting down and yeah, I think you're like, it seems like it's really hard, but how long do you think it would take a beginner to even get to dream up something like this? Like I think it's just about being creative, right? It's not even about how much you know about vibe coding or not. You can just start even before you get to the coding part. You can even just use AI to like make mock-ups of just kind of what you have in your head, and it'll help you sort of come up with like the wireframes before you even attempt to try to code anything.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, you just learn by just doing little projects. Like just take something small that you're working on, like literally just dictate that to AI. Hit the microphone on your computer, give it the idea of what you want to build, and and just let it build. And stuff like Google AI Studio. If anyone hasn't used this yet, like just go in there and just go to what is it, ai.google.
Yeah, aistudio.google.com.
Yeah, and just get in there and just tell it what you want, and it like literally will start building for you. So yeah, I'm gonna allow this because like even this. Okay, this is funny. You saw those stickers for my girlfriend and our dogs, and I was like, oh, these stickers are really cool. These little like icons. I was like, I'm sure other people would have wanted like just upload the picture of their dog and get these like cool little 3D icons, right? And so I was like, well, why don't I just build an app for that real quick? And so like I just started doing that while I was waiting for something else to build, right? So now I want to get it where you could like upload a picture of your dog and it'll like make it a cool little 3D image or whatever, and then like I don't know, you could send it, like you could put an integration with Canva where it like goes in there and like sends it off, and you can get stickers ordered, like just lots of like fun things. Just because like, and I just did this because I was just waiting for something else to finish, right? Like so, It doesn't have to be anything. But just go into Gemini, go into Claude, and just like any idea you have, and just say, oh, give me the most beginner-friendly way to get started with this, and just start. Like, and you'll see how the learning will start to compound, right? Like you'll every time I do even this silly project like this, I like these, even if they go nowhere, because every time I do it, you're gonna find a little trick, or you're gonna find a little bit better way of doing it, or it's gonna give you an idea. I mean, I can't tell you how many projects I've had where I'm working on something actually really big or much more important. And I will remember something from something small like this Nano Pet Studio or something, like the little idea there that's like, oh, what if I used that from what I learned there, or that idea that I tried there to this project, and it's that little bit that actually puts it over the top, right? Yeah. So it's just starting small and just experimenting and just letting your curiosity take you. It's so fun.
Yeah, no, it really just compounds. It's like, yeah. I mean, we call you front end Max now because you've gotten so advanced at designing and coming up with all these different front end designs. And yeah, I mean, I think I started using Claude Code maybe 2-3 months ago, and I already feel like I'm learning so much about UI and different components and animations and just like stuff I never would have even dreamed about learning. Like, like last year at this time, you'd have been like, yeah, that's like unfortunately just a different career path I couldn't go down, right? And like now you're just like you can kind of just do anything and everything. All these ideas that you have in your head, and even looking at your dashboard, like I'm coming up with ideas for myself now. I love that recipe thing you had, because like yeah, like my wife and I were just talking about yesterday of like just how like we're like, okay, the holidays are over, like we need to get back on track with eating. So I'm just thinking about like my Fitness Pal, I yeah, like I have it downloaded, I open it up and I'm like, oh, this is just such a clunky experience. Like now I'm just like, why don't I just go create my own food tracker? And yeah, I'm probably just going to start working on that and try to dream that up tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's cool, and you integrate it into whatever else you're doing, because I just think, yeah, so many things we drop, or I at least personally drop, like tools or projects, or I actually think is why a lot of AI implementation doesn't work for people, because you're not implementing it, or you're not getting the data, or you're not using AI in the way that you want to use it, that's integrated into your actual workflow, or that's customized for you. So like I just think, I'll be personally invested in this because I built it, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm much better. I'll be much more inclined to actually stick with my to-dos, stay organized, because I'll be using it, right? And
Yeah,
I mean, what's
sure.
the old thing is the best workout is the one you do, right? Or the
Yeah.
one you stick to. So like it's even, there's something to that too. So
yeah, and you just keep making better. Rick said, I'm a top outbound sales guy who wants to work one more year, build an info product business afterwards, and do the slow trial incentive with Justin Brooks.
Yeah, Justin Brooks is a very if I think it's the same guy, like he's an OG. Justin Brooks is an OG with ad buying and like meta ads and just media buying in general. So I know he's about as good as they come if it's the same guy. Yeah, people love Mind Studio. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I know people love it. I just never got into a lot of. There's a couple like Mind Studio that just kind of does a lot of the agent linking together for you. I found personally, like for me, just how I work, they were a little bit the same guy. It was those are a little restricted for me, but like for some people, they're like if you find the workflow that you like in that and you use it, they're awesome, right? Like again, the best ones are the ones you actually use consistently. So
yeah,
I know people love it and it's a good company. So I'd be curious, Rick, on your experience with it, and especially if you have Justin Brooks's domain knowledge, his expertise embedded into whatever he builds, it'll be good out of the box probably. So as long as you can customize it for what you need, I'm sure it'll be awesome. And you can't, if he worked at Agora, then he's going to be fine with copy. That's about Agora is about as good as they get with copy. They know how to sell. So, all right, cool. So that's these things. Do we want to talk about two of the other projects that we're working on? I think I think it's good. Let's go. You want to go to the depot?
Yeah. Bring up.
I'll share mine, and we'll let you jump over there.
Let's see if I got that up. This.
Yeah, Rick. Like AI is so much more powerful when you have somebody's actual domain expertise embedded in it. So I say, like, if he built it in there, as long as he knows, and even if he doesn't know AI well enough, like he's got a big enough company and is well connected enough, I'm sure he has somebody that'll AIify whatever he's doing. So yeah, let me know. Let me know how that works for you. There's a lot of really good copywriters out there.
That's awesome.
A lot of not.
So this is another one of our big projects that came out of our get together in Atlanta, and it's something that I think has been in the back of my head for better part of this year, just as I've been spending more and more time around AI, just not having a great place to save and store prompts. I have them all over the place. I have them in like text files. I have some in Google Drive. I have some in Notion. Obsidian, just like files sitting in different folders of my computer. And like, once you really start getting into it, like you'll very quickly have over 100, right? And then I'm constantly browsing, seeing new ones that are on X, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I want to save that, and like Reddit. And so I'd come up with this. I bought the domain 6-7 months ago just because I thought it was a cool domain. And after spending time with Max, Tam, and Lil Zane in Atlanta, like we really just fleshed out the concept of it and just said, yeah, let's just go all in and build this thing fast and get it out there. So this is giving you guys a sneak peek. We put this together in 2 weeks max, I think. Like it was not even when I was down there December 20th, and just over the holidays, just kind of spent a couple hours a day and put together the Prompt Depot. And so the whole idea is it's a platform for saving your prompts, sharing prompts, discovering prompts. And we had a lot of fun the other day kind of coming up with like the voice and persona behind it. And we're thinking about like, why do people love going to Home Depot, and you get all sorts of different stuff there. And it becomes this thing where like you're not you might not be the type of person who's remodeling your home, but then you go to Home Depot more and more and more, and by the end of it, like you're an expert, and you know what you're doing, and you know exactly where to go. So we kind of leaned into that and thought, that's the same way people should be thinking about AI. It's like you're a beginner, you dabble a little bit, but then the more time you spend, you keep coming back, creating new and more interesting and novel and personalized prompts, and then in no time you're the guy that's in all your friend circle, like you're the AI guy. And so we really kind of leaned into that and built this for that, that persona. But it's a cool platform. You'll still see a lot of testing happening here. But
before you go in, I think just to kind of like high level overview, like to me, like the big, this solves two really big problems. It's like one, just getting all of your prompts in one place, right? Like just because I'm sure everybody who is watching this or is here that has just the prompts scattered in a million different documents. They don't know which ones to use. So this is designed to help people just curate and bring in just their best prompts and have the system for actually bringing them together. The other problem that we see a lot is, yes, there are prompts out there, and you see people giving prompts all the time, but they are not, and you'll get into how this changes that, but those are not prompts for you. They're not prompts built for your situation. They're not prompts customized for exactly what you're trying to accomplish. I think that's why so much of AI education honestly fails too, is because it's just talked about at such a broad level. Everyone tries to like paint these broad strokes with AI and what it could do for you. But then you go to talk to any individual person, and every situation is so different, and there's so many nuanced things to how, even how a prompt should react to that person, or the variables that go inside of it, that it just doesn't work at that kind of level. Like there's ways to customize it and get it to work, but to go out and just see like sometimes these massive prompts that just rely on maybe just like one input, right? Like it's not going to. Yes, there obviously are exceptions. Some are really like good, but for the most part, like when you're working on workflows, or you're working on some of these individual tasks that you want to get done, they need to be highly specific and customized for your situation. So that's part, I think, of the inspiration behind this, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So when you go to your own personal dashboard, right? What we're actually building in is we call it AI opportunities. And part of what happens when you get onboard onto the site is you actually just fill out a little bit of information about yourself, and things like where do you work, what your role is, kind of what your current goals are, your main priorities. And Prompt Depot will actually come up with then your own personalized AI opportunity canvas. So really just comes up with starts with 5 just to keep it kind of tight and not overwhelm people, but then you can keep adding more and more as you get more comfortable. And it walks you through why that is a good use case, what are the expected gains you could have from it,
I
And
they
you know,
know,
I was testing it out, and I just built this morning. So yeah,
yeah, and I was gonna say like I think it's good to tell them too of like, I'll try and recap a little bit of what you told me, like of why you even built this part. But like if I remember correctly too, is because when you were talking to so many people, especially in the corporate environment, like you don't see AI adoption because they don't know how AI can be used for their exact situation, right? And so
right,
what you built here is you give it enough information to learn about you. So then it's not just giving you here are the top 10, like it's not sending the marketing department all the exact same 10 prompts,
exactly.
or it's not going to send like the whole product department at a company that's the same 10 prompts. Every individual is going to get their own specific set of 10 prompts that is meant to be optimized for what they're trying to accomplish.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So everyone's prompts are going to be completely customized, and so these are more, yeah, to generate the ideas, and then and then you can go ahead and yeah. So like I said, we're still we're still testing here, but you're going to be able to actually generate the actual prompt. I think I might have generated one already in my library before. Let's see here.
So you guys are really getting the real behind the scenes of how this is
Yeah,
being
I'm
built.
showing you the. Yes, I think this is one that I created a little bit earlier, but
Can you zoom in on that just a little bit, Zane, too?
yeah.
Because of the text. There you go.
So you know, on the actual prompt screen, you'll be able to actually see the prompts, and everything you see kind of highlighted in yellow is an input field. So we're going to give you the ability to just come here, and you can just type right there to customize it, so you don't have to. A lot of times I feel like what happens is people see a prompt and it's like a long prompt, you copy it, you go into ChatGPT, and you're trying to find all the places within the prompt that you need to edit, and it just gets really confusing. So we wanted to make that really easy to edit your variables, and then you click you can either copy it, or you can just click a button, and it'll send you right out directly to the LLM that you're using, and you'll be ready to go and start using it. So yeah, it's kind of the idea. It's still evolving, but we've got a lot of different ideas with this one. One is prompts, and then the second big thing is everyone's been talking about Claude skills, right? And that was the other kind of problem that we saw is there hasn't been just a good centralized repository. Most places are just you see they'll link you to the actual GitHub repository, and for a non-technical user, I know Max, you and I are comfortable with GitHub now because we've been
Comfortable-ish.
playing around. Yeah, go comfortable-ish. But I think it's just really it's not a good user experience for a lot of people just to be sent to a GitHub repository. So we're going to start bringing the Claude skills into here, and putting them in a format where you can just download the file that you need right here.
And if you don't know what Claude skills are, it's almost like loading up custom GPTs inside of your Claude that you can call on from any chat. So it's super cool. Other LLMs are starting to integrate these too. So I'm sure most people have heard of these. If you haven't, you'll start hearing about skills way more. And they are, when you start using them and you start stringing them together, they're just super, super powerful.
Yeah. So we want to centralize that, and then also building in functionality for projects. So a lot of times you don't want to just have a prompt directly into a chat. You want to actually set up a project and then have knowledge files. So having the ability to share that as well is going to be really, really powerful. And so we're filling it with a couple starter ones, but the point of this is just to on the back end really make it more customized. So those ideas that it generates for you, it is going to generate prompt ideas, but then also tell you when a skill might make more sense for that specific task, or a project might make more sense for a specific task. And then you're going to be able to add that into your personal library, and then once you use it and you find it super useful, then you can actually share it with other people too. So you'll be able to kind of come in here and create a project page like this, and provide the prompt as well as any knowledge files, and then post that and share that with people, within your team or with your friends and family, whoever you might, whoever might find it useful. So,
or go sell it. Yeah, whatever you
yeah,
want.
or go sell it. Yeah. And so that's kind of the other side of Prompt Depot that we've imagined up is, the other side from the users is there's a lot of people creating prompts and just haven't had a great place to be able to centralize their libraries and sell them and monetize. So that's going to be something that comes next after we build out the user and kind of the prompt saving and creation experience. We're going to build out the marketplace experience for people who've built prompts or packs of prompts to come and kind of in an organized way sell them here. And then we're also planning to build workflow based prompts, which for those that don't know what we mean by that, there's a lot of prompts that you'll see out there that are it's multiple prompts that you need to go step by step. So it's like imagine a research prompt to study your ideal customer persona, and then take that research and actually create your customer avatar, and then take your customer avatar and then create a product requirements document around that customer avatar. So there's lots of these like powerful workflows that you can have, and a lot of times it's really hard. Someone just has a Reddit post with like 5 different prompts. It's hard to organize and string that together. So we're going to be creating a system where you can actually go step by step in the workflow, and take the output from one prompt and then use it as input for the next one. So really kind of hand holding, but just bringing things into a much more kind of organized, logical, model here. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming. And then eventually, once we get enough people on the platform, we'll kind of launch the product hunt type experience, which can be, what's popular, what's featured, let people launch stuff. And yeah, so just lots of cool stuff coming. Again, like this whole thing we kind of imagined and dreamed up and built in 2 weeks, right? So it's just incredible just how far along you can get. And then the other cool adjacent thing that we're building with this is if you want to jump into that, Max, is
yeah
business books.
I'll hop into that guy. Yeah, and I think again, what I think is going to separate this and where I think everything needs to go is going with AI. And if you want to get the best experience out, it is I keep going back to this, but it's the personalization, it's the context that you give AI. And so, Zane was showing you all those different inputs, but it's filling that out one time and then having it across every prompt that you use inside of here. It's going to know about you. And then I'm sure we'll be able to set up like additional personas. I think you already saw that. And then like additional profiles, like if you have a personal one to work or client or whatever, that way you can just generate, you can see a prompt that you like that may solve everything, but then it's going to be customized for your situation. And so, yeah, let me, I'll cool. Share my screen again if you want to. So let's show you, and this is another one. And so, yeah, Zane showed you that it was built in 2 weeks, but that was on top of like, I think all the other stuff we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like when we could find time to focus on it. So not to be outdone, you can see the business book, Zane.
Yep.
So I mean, I think I bought this when we looked at it. I bought this domain back in March, I think, because I just it's solving the same problem just from a different angle too. Of you've read you read all these good strategy books, right? Like you read, Atomic Habits. You read Crossing the Chasm. Like any of these books, and the chance of you actually like acting on it usually is pretty small, right? Like so, I mean, that's what the headline says. Like you bought the book, you read the book is on a shelf somewhere. That's exactly it. And so I wanted to take a similar angle to what Zane did, and it's like, okay, how do we extract the best frameworks out of these books, and then like customize them and apply them to your actual situation. So that's exactly what I did. I had a lot of fun with these of like actually giving each of the books their own little I don't know what you want to mean, like guardian or mentor or whatever to kind of help you to kind of like bring the books to life a little bit. So, but I'm starting to bring in like all these different ones and give them cool things of this, Atomic Habits, Start with Why, Never Split the Difference, Thinking Fast and Slow. And it's the same thing. So you go in here, and what we want to do is we want to sync this with Prompt Depot. So whether you build your profile on here or you build it on on Prompt Depot, they'll sync together, so your profiles can travel pretty much. It'll be a single sign-on type deal. And then, so when you go in here, I was approaching this more from what is the problem you're trying to solve, and then getting you matched up with the framework that'll actually solve it. So instead of leading with the book of like, all right, here's all the 10 prompts that came from Atomic Habits, it's more of, okay, first come in with the what are you trying to solve, and then then it'll actually match you up with the book instead of vice versa. So it's cool. You can go and just look, for the book name or the framework name, but same idea. So, like if you need to validate an idea, it'll bring that up. And I think I have 22 of these in right now. So I'll keep adding as we go, but good, bad strategy, good, not great. Of course, that's gonna be the hedgehog. And so if you want to apply this one, you go in here, I don't have the back end fully set up yet because I'm waiting to get it synced with, again, Prompt Depot. So I want to make sure that's good. So I have some mock data in here to just show you how it works of, okay, let's pretend this was you, or this guy, you filled out, you're a VP engineering, B2B SaaS, your team of 12 people, you're focused on scaling engineering team, and whatever else, data it collects on that. You can, if you want just the prompt, you can just click and just snag the prompt itself. But then you just answer a few more questions, because while it does collect information, contextual information about, you as a profile, your company, like that, this is now going to collect just a few more questions on like the exact problem that you are trying to solve, right? And then it's going to apply the actual framework to it. So I just filled it in with some test data. I'm going to let this run, but to show you on top, it shows you, quickly what the problem solves. Oh no, it didn't work. So let's see if I could bring it up locally for you guys. I just connected the API, so let's figure it out. I think it needs to be redeployed, so give me 2 seconds. Zane, I think Rick had another question too in the chat.
Will you do LTD? I'm not sure. Do you mean a limited?
No, lifetime deal.
Oh, lifetime deal. Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea. We're gonna launch it with for free in the beginning to just get some user feedback, and then once that is a good idea. We could definitely look into doing a lifetime deal. But part of what we're also offering is the Beware the Default community that we're launching. If you're part of that, you get access to Prompt Depot, to business book prompts, and all the other cool stuff that we're launching. So that would be another way to kind of grandfather yourself in.
Yeah, and I'll put this in the chat too for anybody who's interested, because at the very least you get we'll give you some good prompts out of this. This is just a community. It should be coming up soon. So I was gonna put this in the chat for you, Rick. This is the waitlist. Zane put together a pack of awesome Atomic Habit prompts. So if you want to be on the waitlist for the community, we're going to launch it on Tuesday. Super low to start, and you're going to get access to all the tools in addition to everything else we put in the community. So let me go back. Let me find that. I just had it. Okay.
And, going to be doing much more workshops, hands-on type stuff. Just, I think the best way to put it, we're trying to just show people the art of the possible, and be less prescriptive, and just get people to get their own creative juices flowing, and building, and just doing cool stuff with this. It's just, we're having the most fun I think we've had in a long time. I think the other day when we were talking, I told Max, like, I just feel like a kid again, and I'm just it's like you're outside and just exploring, and doing things that you never thought you could. So it's super exciting. We just want everyone to feel the same excitement that we have.
I know. I can't stop working on this. It's probably a problem with AI. It's so fun. So can you see the screen still, Zane?
Yep. Sure. Yeah, it is. It's coming through.
So it's going to give the personalized analysis for exactly what that person is doing. I think I want to make that a little bit bigger here, but it's going to give you a full playbook of exactly how this applies to your situation. So whatever the context that was filled in up top for your situation. I love this graphic.
Yeah, the graphics are amazing.
So step one, this to eliminate industry orthodoxies, like et cetera, et cetera. It's gonna give you, like a full playbook of what to do. so like firm scripts for Common Quest, so you can copy paste them, like a little checklist, some templates you can copy and paste for a few different things. I'll show you some other things on the bottom that were really cool. And what I also want to do is get this in like a good output format so that you can continue the conversation with ChatGPT, and it has all the context it needs to do that for you. Like if you want to like dig deeper instead of just working just on the site itself. Of course, why this might get wrong. So like honest pushback on like this is, trying to do stuff a little bit different. Like what is, what do people usually not tell you about this and about the framework itself? Like here's just some like blind spots to kind of look out for when you're using this. And then these just ready to use artifacts, they'll be different for every framework and every person. So like, giving you a strategy canvas where if you just click on one of these, it'll give you more things. So you're going to get that full, let's call it playbook, but then also other things that had to do with whatever it was that you were looking to do. So for all this stuff, it's super cool. So you can see it's for non-customer analysis, like what do you do here? And it's going to, obviously
what's really cool. It's like the common theme about everything we're doing is like, it's personalizing it to the individual, right? It's never taking just kind of the generic prompt and trying to use it and then being disappointed in the outputs, like just very small level of effort to just customize it a little bit to your specific situation. And then the results are, 10 times the quality and usefulness. And it's just incredible, like how much more sense things start making when you just put a little bit more context into it.
Yeah. That's super cool. Yeah. And so you can just copy and paste all these out of there and bring them into your LLM. I need to work on bringing some of the context with it as it goes over. So that transition's a lot smoother, but yeah, just another tool that we're working on in the background here. So some fun stuff.
It's a good idea from Rick. And that he said you could run the same query for several book frameworks on a comparison and then store the results.
So what we want, like I think part of it too is we want to be able to have you be able to store the results in the prompt as part of the larger database inside of Prompt Depot too.
Yeah.
So and like all that stuff, as you start storing it, it's just going to enrich the profile and make it better, and just be a hub so that you have that, and you could even take that input or that output, or like what you just saw me generate. You could take one of those outputs and like put it in as an input for maybe something else too, and just almost like create like a multi-step workflow.
Yeah.
So, and while it sounds complex, all you're really doing is just copying and pasting, or just hitting that, and it's gonna just keep spitting it out for you. So it's super cool.
Very cool. Awesome. Yeah. So like we said, we got a lot of stuff cooking ever since our meetup. So yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah, a lot of stuff cooking. I mean, I think this is probably honestly less than a quarter of what we're doing and stuff we wanted to share, but we thought it'd be a good way to kind of rip the Band-Aid off first of the year and just get talking and putting out some stuff and just recording. So we want to do a lot more of these and bring on the other folks from our team, or even just other people. We both have networks of really fun, smart people that I'd love to just get on and just see what they're working on too. So
we want to hear how people are using AI. Just have dialogue. I think that's the biggest thing, is like you learn something new or you get like a creative spark from every single conversation. I feel like we just want to do more of that in the new year.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody, and I think it's Substack may be a little delayed, but if anybody has questions, we'll put, I think that's my thing. Zane, do you want to put your Substack in the chat too?
Yeah.
You give out a lot of really good prompts in there too. Very good. But yeah, we're rock and rolling. What is it, Saturday night? Yeah. A lot of football on.
I'll drop my
heavy holiday.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, this is good. So we'll do way more of these. So this is fun. This is good. Selfishly, it's good for us just to get this stuff out of our heads.
Yeah, it's a good outlet. So awesome. Yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right.